Thank you for tuning in. During a pandemic, where singing together puts each other at risk, nothing is as we planned. However, I am so grateful to our patrons, our board and staff, and especially our incredible members. It's been our goal to roll with the punches, to try to find flexible, creative solutions that might not be ideal, but at least keep us connected and making music together. To cater to different risk tolerances and technological limits, we split the choir into 5 chamber ensembles, some rehearsing on Zoom to create virtual choir projects, and others meeting in person, but needing to spread out, wear masks, shorten the rehearsal length, according to various recommendations for the best risk reduction, short of not meeting at all. Difficult circumstances for a group that identifies as a large symphonic choir, and we take our strength from singing together and fellowship. This is the last tuxedo you will see tonight. Though it is our standard dress for our concerts, we decided to wear informal clothing to be in character, sort of the way we might dress if we were traveling. We've all learned things about ourselves and each other, and I believe we'll be a stronger choir afterward as a result of facing these challenges together. But the result of the projects themselves is a collection of short, favorite madrigals that we are delighted to humbly present to you in hopes that they will brighten your life in trying times. Thank you for sharing this music with us. Welcome to the Reading Choral Society's fall concert. We had ambitious plans to do a tour of world music, a musicological race around the globe in 80 minutes.
I'm really excited to travel around the world.
There are so many different musical styles. This should be interesting.
I wonder if it's a good idea to be traveling during a global pandemic.
The first stop was to be Paris, but unfortunately Europe closed its borders due to the pandemic. The choir manager found an airline that was willing to try to sneak us in by landing in a non-international airport in France.
I've never heard of Acme Airlines before.
Isn't that the name of the fictional corporation in Warner Brothers cartoons?
Despite some misgivings, they packed their bags and held one last rehearsal before heading to the Reading Regional Airport.
Come, follow, 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 follow me. Whither shall I follow, follow, follow? Whither shall I follow, follow thee? To the greenwood, to the greenwood, to the greenwood, greenwood tree.
To the greenwood, to the greenwood, to the greenwood, greenwood tree. To the
was truly a budget airline. No seat cushions, just wooden crates. The plane got caught in a lightning storm and also ran out of fuel. The last thing anyone remembers is a big flash of light, and then waking up in a field of sheep.
Well, that was a bumpy flight.
You would think they would know how much fuel you need to make it to Paris.
The lightning must have fried the electronics because the clock on my phone is running backwards now.
Just as they were gathering their music folders, a shepherdess came over the hill and saw them.
What a strange-looking gaggle of folk.
Her name was Phyllis, and she explained that they were not actually in France.
This isn't France. You're a long way from France. This is England.
Don't tell the conductor, but I'm kind of glad. I was sorry that our itinerary skipped over England.
The choir members asked Phyllis for help finding their way to the nearest telephone, but she just looked at them.
I don't know what to think about these strange people. Maybe I should take them to Amyntas. He'd know what to do.
And off they went, singing, of course, since that's what choirs do.
Fair Phyllis I saw sitting all alone,
feeding her flock near to the mountainside.
Fair Phyllis I saw sitting all alone,
feeding her flock near to the mountainside.
The shepherd knew not whither she was gone. After her lover, Amyntas hired down he won. Down he wandered while she was missing when he found her. Oh, then they fell a-kissing. Oh, then they fell a-kissing, a-kissing. Oh, then they fell a-kissing. Up and down he wandered. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down he wandered. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down he wandered. While she was missing when he found her. Oh, then they fell a-kissing. Oh, then they fell a-kissing, a-kissing. Oh, then they fell a-kissing.
If I have to climb one more hill, I'm going home early.
That was a really strange route. I think Phyllis went out of her way to go over every hill on this island.
I've never seen that many sheep before. Everyone's clothing is old, too. Old-fashioned. Odd.
You can't be sheepish in this business.
After the terrifying flight and all of that wandering up and down, the choir was ready for a nap.
I am so tired.
Rest, sweetness, let golden sleep charm your brighter eyes. Whilst my rooftop watched the king with pleasing sympathies, lullaby, lullaby, lullaby.
next morning, Amyntas introduced them to a fellow musician, John Dowland, who happened to be passing through the countryside.
"It is a pleasure and an honour to behold thy countenance. You can call me Master Dowland, or John Dowland, if you so will."
John was on his way to London and offered to show them the way, so off they went, on foot.
Funny, I haven't seen a car since we got here. Lots of horses. Very old-fashioned. Maybe this area is Amish.
As different choir members tried to engage John in conversation, they noticed something about him.
"My heart is tormented, but I have penned such sentiments about it in a song, and that always provides comfort. Catharsis of the most potency."
Wow, that guy is gloomy.
John seems like he really needs a friend.
The ground shall sorrow be. The roof despair to bar all cheerful light from me. The walls of marble black that moistened still shall weep, still shall weep. My music, my music, hellish, hellish jarring sounds, jarring sounds to banish friendly sleep. Thus wedded to my woes and bedded to my doom. Oh, let me living die. Oh, let me living die. Till death do come. Till death do come. Till death do come.
The music's very romantic, but it's too depressing.
Maybe you'll like this song better, bit less gloomy.
Come again, sweet love doth now invite thy graces that refrain to do me due delight, to see, to hear, to touch, to kiss, to die with thee again in sweetest sympathy, to see, to hear, to touch, to kiss, to die with thee again in sweetest sympathy. Come again, that I may cease to mourn through thy unkind disdain. For now left and forlorn, I sit, I sigh, I weep, I faint, I die in deadly pain and endless misery. I sit, I sigh, I weep, I faint, I die in deadly pain and endless misery. Gentle love, draw forth thy wounding dart. Thou canst not pierce her heart. For I that to approve, my sighs and tears more hot than all thy shafts did tempt while she for mighty triumph laughs. My sighs and tears more hot than all thy shafts did tempt while she for mighty triumph laughs.
April is in my mistress' face. April is in my mistress' face. April is in my mistress' face, my mistress' face. And joy in her eyes, and joy in her eyes, and her eyes have face. Within her bosom, within her bosom is September. But in her
The choir arrived in what John promised was London, but it didn't look like they expected.
I thought London had skyscrapers.
But John was too caught up in his music.
People say, Semper Dowland, semper dolens. To those ill-educated in Latin, which I, as a troubadour lutenist, am not against not speaking in Latin, it means always Dowland, always a downer. I suppose I have a reputation.
From my tears far from your springs, exile
where night's blackbird her sad infamy sings, there let me live forlorn. Down vain light shine you no more, no night is dark enough for those that in despair their last fortunes deplore. Light doth but shame disclose. Never may my woes be relieved, since pity is fled, and tears and sighs and groans, my weary days of our joys have deprived. From the highest spire of contentment my fortunes is thrown, and fear and grief and pain for my deserts, are my hopes, since hope is gone. Hark, you shadows that in darkness dwell, learn to contemn light. Happy they that in hell feel not the world's despite. Hark, you shadows that in darkness dwell, learn to contemn light. Happy they that in hell feel not the world's despite.
What is it with everyone and their lost love?
Literally everyone was writing music about lost love.
Weep, O mine eyes that cease not. Weep, O mine eyes that cease not. Weep, O mine eyes, weep, O mine eyes, and cease not.
told John he needed to cheer up, and now he's gone all silly, telling me a story about talking insects.
It's a pun. Time, like the herb, for time, like the stuff that flies like an arrow.
It was a time when silly bees could speak, and in that time I was a silly bee who fed on time until my heart can break, yet never found that time would favor me. Over the swarm I only did not thrive, it brought I wax and honey to the hive. Over the swarm I only did not thrive, it brought I wax and honey to the hive. Then thus I buzzed when time no sap would give. Why should this blessed time to me betray? Sith by this time the lazy drone doth live. The wasp, the worm, the gnat, the butterfly, battered with grief, I kneeled on my knees, and thus complained unto the King of Bees. Battered with grief, I kneeled on my knees, and thus complained unto the King of Bees. My liege God grant thy time may never end, and yet vouchsafe to hear my plaint of time, which fruitless flies have found to have a friend, and I cast down when to me to climb. The King of Pride, but thus peevish be, thou art to serve the time not thee. The King replied, but thus peevish be, thou bound to serve the time not thee.
Listening to those lyrics about time, Phyllis suddenly put two and two together.
You know what? I think you're from the future. That would explain everything.
Oh, time travel? That explains everything.
It is the year 1615. Were you unaware? Well, whatever year did you think it was?
400 years? That's a lot of years.
I hope we can time travel back, because otherwise that's a long time to wait to get back to when I was born.
His golden locks time hath to silver turned. O time too swift, O swiftness never ceasing. His youth 'gainst time and age hath ever spurned, but spurned in vain, youth waneth by increasing. Beauty, strength, youth are flowers but fading seen. Duty, faith, love are roots and evergreen. Beauty, strength, youth are flowers but fading seen. his unspotted heart. But though from court to cottage he depart, his saint is sure of his unspotted heart. And when he saddest sits in homely cell, he'll teach his swains this carol for a song. Blessed be the hearts that wish my sovereign well. Cursed be the soul that thinketh any wrong. Goddess, allow this aged man is right to be your beadsman now that was your knight. Goddess, allow this aged man is right to be your beadsman now that was your knight.
Not everyone wanted to leave.
You know, there's a lot of beauty in the simplicity of this period. No phones ringing, no emails from work to deal with.
I miss Netflix.
What pleasure have great princes, have great princes, what pleasure have great princes, what pleasure have great princes, what dainty choice, then herdmen wild who cries, and fortune's fate not fate, not fate, in summer morning, in summer morning, and fortune's fate not fate, not fear, and fortune's fate not fate, not in summer morning. Oh, happy who thus liveth, who thus liveth. Oh, happy who thus liveth, thus happy thus liveth. Not carrying God's forward, with clothing which sufficeth, with clothing which sufficeth, thy cold keeps them from the cold, poor and plain died, poor and plain died, dying,
John and Phyllis remembered tales of a mad scientist living in London who was thought to be a heretic for talking about time travel. Her name was Amaryllis.
I've never met anyone called Amaryllis before. Isn't that a flower?
I've been working on this time machine. I'm not sure it's ready yet, but they seem like they would test it out for me.
Wow, I don't think we have a time machine yet in 2020. That's impressive. She must be a genius.
Really? I'm happy to help.
Some people weren't so sure about using an untested time machine.
Everyone really likes Amaryllis. I wish we didn't have to say goodbye just yet.
No! You have to go. If you stay, it will wear away at the fabric of the space-time continuum. Adieu. It was nice to meet you.
Time to send these guys back to the future.
And so, with a flash and a whiz, they found themselves not only back in 2020, but back home in Reading.
I wasn't sure we were ever getting back home.
I guess they don't figure out how to make mattresses comfortable for a few more centuries.
What a relief. I mean, I had fun, don't get me wrong. It's just, I'll be so glad to sleep in my own bed again.
Never weather-beaten sail, nor willing bent to shore. Never tired pilgrims with affected slumber more than my weary sprite now longs to fly out of my troubled breast. Oh, come quickly, oh, come quickly, oh, come quickly, sweetest Lord, and take my soul to rest. Oh, come quickly, oh, come quickly, oh, come quickly, sweetest Lord, and take my soul to rest. Ever blooming are the joys of heaven's high paradise. Cold age deaths not there are nears, nor vapor dims our eyes. Glory there the sun outshines those beams, the blessed only see. Oh, come quickly, oh, come quickly, oh, come quickly, glorious Lord, and raise my sprite to thee. Oh, come quickly, oh, come quickly, oh, come quickly, glorious Lord, and raise my sprite to thee.
Thanks for traveling with Reading Choral Society.
Thanks for traveling with us.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much for going on this journey with us. We always appreciate your support.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
We really appreciate your support.
Bye now.